Hello, my name is Taehoon Kim. People call me TK. I'm the co-founder and CEO of nWay. Super excited to talk to you guys about how we look at gaming and Web3 and what the future lies ahead of us. So just a quick background on myself. I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years, starting with my stint at Samsung Electronics, where I was part of the new business development team. We were starting the smartphone business at that time, as well as the mobile gaming business. And I quickly moved over to the gaming development world, starting with Real-Time World, where we developed Crackdown and APB. And since then, I've been starting my own companies. I started Pixelberry, New Year Software, and nWay about 11 years ago. So at nWay, I started nWay in 2011 with the goal of creating console-quality, competitive multiplayer games that run on multiple devices. So at the time, I was focusing on making sure that the games run on the emerging platforms, which at the time were mobile, smart TV, browsers, as well as the gaming devices. And now it's kind of commonplace with Minecraft and Fortnite running on all devices. But at that time, we had to create our own technology to make that happen. So starting with Chrono Blade, it was our first action RPG game that ran on browsers and mobile at the same time, where we can kind of play together in real time. And since then, we've developed Power Rangers Legacy Wars, which is the first fighting game where it's PvP only, meaning you're always playing with another human being. It had about 80 million downloads. It was one of the biggest success for the Power Rangers IP. And then we moved on to Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, which was the first fighting game that ran on all platforms. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, Google Stadia, PC, every platform there is. And we were known for our back-end code that ran with low latency without desync issues, which was great for us. And since then, we've developed Battlepalooza, which is a Web3 mobile game, Olympic Games Jam, which is an Olympics-themed game that also runs on multiple devices, as well as WWE Undefeated, which is another mobile fighting game. We're mainly known for our M&A deal. So we were acquired by Animoca back in 2020. And also for creating Ryu Ranger and Chun-Li Ranger. So we worked with both Capcom and Hasbro, who own the Street Fighter IP. And Hasbro owns the Power Rangers IP, to kind of fuse them together to create the Power Ranger versions of the Street Fighter characters, which got a lot of attention for our mobile game as well as the console version of our Power Rangers game. And then more recently, we were kind of chosen as the official video game partner for the IOC, video game and NFT partner. So we've created these NFT pins, which already had this tradition of trading in the physical world. We made them into NFTs for people to trade as NFTs, and also gave utility in Olympic Games Jam, which is a party multiplayer games that I kind of showed you on the previous slide. So this is what we're mainly known for. So enough about us. We want to also actually the recent announcements. These are interesting as well. So we announced Food Truck Coin Club, which is another Web3 game that we're developing in partnership with Animoca. We have another Power Rangers game called Power Rangers Morphin Legend, which is on soft launch. And then also we made a big splash when we announced the partnership with Bored Ape and Yuga Labs for an upcoming fighting game that we're developing. So moving on to kind of how we look at the Web3 and gaming world. We think that when people complete a game or they quit a game, there's an empty feeling where like you put in hundreds of hours into a game, but there's nothing really left, right? So we think that by adding digital ownership into real games, that we can create more meaningful entertainment, and we can infuse meaning into the games that great games that we develop, and what third-party developers develop. And a lot of people ask us like, so what do you mean by real games? And how we define that is like, if the majority of your player base are actual gamers, right? That's a real game. So by gamers, I mean they have gamers who are playing for the game, gamers who have real attachment to the game, the community, and the items in the game. Games that are maybe disguised as games and not really a real game, or maybe the games where majority of players are people who are playing as speculators or people who are playing just as a job, right? If the player base is only kind of treating the game as a job, then they have little interest in the game and the game items on their own sake. And then the game economy becomes a bubble because when things are going up, it's good, but when things are going down, because they have no kind of intrinsic interest in the game itself, the bubble pops. So these are kind of more like a fintech with a skin of a fintech app with the skin of a game. So this is how we define kind of the game. So in terms of infusing Web3 systems, we want to make sure that we do it in a way that doesn't really damage the game, right? So we want to integrate ownership, NFTs and tokens and whatnot to the systems around the game in a way that doesn't really turn off the gamers. So you can have a majority of gamers, a majority of players who are actual gamers. And developing that symbiotic balance between Web3 and free-to-play systems. So how do we kind of make that balance work, right? And in these games that we call real games. First of all, I think the game needs to be full-blown free-to-play games, and preferably a mobile PC cross-play game. And I can explain why that is later. But yeah, it has to have proven free-to-play gameplay core loop. For us, that's like, you do the battle, get the rewards to upgrade, make progress, and battle and repeat. We think that also should have proven free-to-play monetization core loop, meaning that players are able to accumulate various resources and currencies to level up your items, and they can actually purchase them in a regular in-app purchase systems that's available on mobile and PC. So the business model needs to be a hybrid between free-to-play and Web3. And I will explain more of how we kind of look at that in the next couple of slides. But before we get into that, I think in order to create a hybrid, a business model, and have both NFT/Web3 related business model as well as IAP in our purchase model, we need to kind of look at how these two are different. NFTs, they have built-in scarcity. So oftentimes it's only 10,000, only 100,000. It cannot change. And also they're expensive, both at primary as well as secondary. They provide true digital ownership, which allows owners to trade. And the owners also expect utility and benefits that continuously come their way. That's what Web3 community is all about. For in-app purchase, it's more inflationary. The developer can continuously add more and more into the game. It needs to be priced comparable to other free-to-play games. Right? It can't be like thousands of dollars. It needs to be in that price range that makes sense for the gamers. It's rental economy, right? So you can't really sell anything. And the community is the free-to-play gamers. So then how do we differentiate the in-app purchase and the NFT items in a way that satisfy both the Web3 and gamer communities, right? At the same time, preventing the price of the NFT items, which needs to be high, prevented from crashing or converging down to kind of the same price range of in-app purchase items, which are like $20, $50 each, right? I think the first thing that's important is that the NFT items should not have powerful in-game advantages to justify the price, because once you have that, it turns off the gamers. And then you lose the majority of gamers, you go back to being not really a real game. Instead, I think the NFTs should be centered around UGC and kind of customization. The customization creation can be the unique feature of the NFT items, and the owners are the ones that can kind of make it unique into how they look at it. And maybe that can influence what can be purchased as in-app purchase items. So then the creators, which are basically the Web3 community, and the consumers or gamers, right, can coexist in this symbiotic environment where the Web3 communities maybe less than 20% of the user base who are mainly there to create and modify things. And the gamers are basically, just playing a game. It's no different in terms of how they play and consume and purchase items in any other game that they play, so that they don't really have anything to kind of complain about, or they don't feel that the Web3 systems have kind of ruined or tainted the game. And then I think by having this, ability to customize and also influence certain in-app purchase items, that creates also a powerful utility for the NFT and owners, and it's going to be great for the Web3 community as well. Also, for cryptocurrencies, I think they should not exist in the game directly, but we can provide opportunity for players to convert both hard and soft currencies that they usually expect in free-to-play games to be converted into cryptocurrencies. And we've done that already with our Olympic Games Jam, where we have GVTG, which is a currency in the game that can be converted into VTG. And when you can have it both ways, meaning the in-game currency can be converted into cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency can be converted into in-game currency, then what's interesting is that it can allow the players in the user base to use cryptocurrency to purchase the currency that is used to purchase in-app purchase items. So I think that's a very interesting approach, where players are able to use both fiat and cryptocurrency to purchase in-app purchase items. So yeah, what's required, to kind of wrap up and kind of look at what's required to have to enable all this stuff, I think comes down to four different features. You need both custodial and non-custodial wallet systems, so that players can just pick up and play. There can't be any kind of barriers to entry. It just needs to be a game, right? So just a game that gamers discover on App Store or Google Play and just play. And then whatever they earn can be converted over to crypto later on, which means that you need that both custodial and non-custodial wallet systems to work in harmony. You need a game engine, especially on the back-end side, that's platform agnostic, meaning it runs on mobile and PC and perhaps console. So it works seamlessly between mobile browser and also PC, so that you can kind of log in to a browser and then do a lot of things that that are related to Web3, or even play the game on PC and other devices. And then players are able to kind of play together in real time. The third one is you need a player account system for cross-play. So that you can have a social layer. You can have a friend who's playing on Nintendo Switch, or somebody who's on mobile and I'm on PC, to all kind of play together. And it also works together on the website as well, so you can do all the Web3 stuff that we talked about. And then lastly, this cross-platform fiat in and fiat out system, which enables players to kind of make purchase systems on one device, and also see that item appear on another device that without having to pay for it again. And also a fiat out system where if you're selling things to other players and you kind of get that amount in your balance system, that you're able to fiat out via a bank account or a USDC via your wallet. So we've kind of developed all these systems as our kind of publishing infrastructure. We call it nWay Play. We're currently using this system for our own games, but we do have ambition to publish third-party developed games in the future, so that the developers can really shorten the development time to infuse Web3 features into the game that they develop in the right way, so that you can have sustainable long-term value with gamers who really care about the items that they have. So I think I'm right on time. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to our presentation. You can find me on Twitter at Sumaru and also at nWay Play NFT. And my LinkedIn handle is KHTKM as well. Thank you so much.